Yeah, welcome to another episode of Three Conservative Gimps, where we talk about everything from a conservative point of view, from dog catcher all the way up to world leaders and everything in between. So we give you the information you need to make a good choice at the ballot box. Welcome, everybody. I hope y'all had a great week. It's been a wonderful, sunny week here in the Denver area, and it looks like we're going to have some more beautiful weather coming. It looks like we might have a cool off down at the end of the week. Let's get this show on the road. Let's welcome my good friend, all the way from Muskogee, Oklahoma. Let's welcome Lloyd Mendenhall. Welcome,
Hello,
Lloyd.
hello. Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
A little tired. Another long day at work today.
Yeah.
So another beautiful sunny day. We've been having nothing but sunny weather. The mountains are not getting enough snow. We are like only 25% of normal up there.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
So,
we haven't been getting enough moisture here either. We're way behind already for the year. We're way behind for the winter. I mean, yeah, we had 8.5 inches of snow that lasted a few days, but when that all melts down, you only got about an inch of precipitation. So
right.
yeah, but it has been beautiful here. It's just been absolutely gorgeous. I Yeah, so I mean, I got out a couple of the times I've gone out. Now today I had to put on a light jacket, but
Mm.
because it was only like 67, but we were
Uh,
up in the we Tuesday I think we were like almost we were 78, almost 80 degrees.
ooh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, let's welcome all the way from New York, where they got the warmth of collectivism. Let's welcome Charles Skolaski.
Hey,
Welcome,
Art.
Charles.
Hey, Lloyd. Hey, everybody in the chat.
Hey, Charles.
And how's the weather in your neck of the woods?
Well, it's we're gonna start roller coastering. I mean,
Oh,
it's weird because I was out today to do a few things outside, and it felt way warmer than the numbers suggest. Especially since there was ice melting, but it was supposed to be below freezing.
oh my.
But if the weather holds true for the next week, we're going to start roller coastering into days well above freezing, and then dropping into nights well below freezing.
Wow.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
for at least a week.
Okay.
If it if it holds true near to the end of this coming week, about a week from today,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be horrible. Where it's going to be, warm during the day, and then we're going to get freezing rain, and then freeze up. I'm just like, we're going to have to try and do like a whole week's worth of. I mean, literally have like more than a week's worth of food.
Right.
Yeah.
Pick it up over the weekend.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And New York City got a lot of snow, and it caused trash to pile up because they have to clear the roads before they could pick up the trash. So a lot of people are saying, "Look at this socialism! See, the city's going to hell," and that's not true. It's because of the snow. They have to clear the streets first before they could start picking up the trash, because otherwise the trash trucks can't get through. So that's why you see all those photos of trash piling, like 2 stories high along
Yeah.
the streets. And see how socialism is hurting people. And it's like, well, no, you can't really count on that because that's all weather related. So
Well, I did hear the the great mayor of New York City talking today about that they are facing a financial crisis, and he's having to change some of the things he was going to do because
Oh,
the financial crisis that they're facing, if they go through with everything the way it is, uh, it will be worse than the Great Recession, whenever that was.
oh, okay.
I know about the Great Depression, but he said Great Recession. I'm going, oh,
Well, there was that big one in 07, 08.
yeah, that's true. There was one in '08 that was pretty
Yeah.
bad. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, because that's when what's his name stopped his campaign long enough. Oh, what the hell
Oh,
is his?
Biden. Was it Biden?
No, hell no. In '08 it was Obama, but it was
Obama.
he was running against McCain.
Oh, McCain, yeah.
I kept thinking McCain. I could see his face and everything, but I thought, no, wait a minute, he's a Democrat. But no, he was a rhino. He was a Republican.
Yeah,
I
right.
don't know why I kept, but yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, he's saying they're having a big shortcoming and
Right.
a financial shortfall. So it
Oh,
just goes to
well, what
imagine
about the
that.
free grocery stores? Just,
Yeah, I think that's not going to work out for him. Yeah,
yeah,
I
I
think
wonder how that's going to work
yeah.
out.
He had to roll back some of his programs he had initially started because of the soon to be new Great Recession.
Right. Hmm. And don't forget, he was going to freeze housing rents too.
Yeah, well, you know,
That, yeah.
I didn't listen to all of it because at first I thought because I thought when I clicked on it, just looking at it, I thought it was Cash Patel, because I didn't have my glass. Well, I didn't
Yeah.
have my glasses on, and so
Yeah.
I
Cash
what
Patel is shorter and darker
not
skin.
height doesn't mean shit when they're standing behind a podium and it's on a screen that you can't see real well. I mean, hell, and I like, oh wait a minute, that's Mandami.
Yeah.
But I just clicked on it because I had, you have all these windows that you're looking at on YouTube and like, oh, and
Right.
I hadn't put my glasses. I didn't get my glasses until just a little bit ago. But yeah, at first I thought that's not Cash Patel. That guy's too light
Oh,
skinned, because Cash is a
mhm.
little darker than Mandami.
Oh,
But
mhm.
yeah, what do I know? I'm an old fat straight white guy. What we're all
Yeah.
racist.
Yeah, that's right. And your thoughts, Charles, on the trash?
I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. You seem to have a little bit more information than I do. All I
Mm,
saw about it was a meme that said the same thing. Trash is piling up, and it's
yeah,
because Mamdani doesn't have the money to
right.
to go
Mm,
pick it up.
okay. Well, before we jump into our next topic, let's say hello to everybody in the chat. We've got Michael, Cool Cat. Welcome, welcome.
Hey,
And
Michael.
Joe, USA Drone Flyer. Good
Hey,
to see
Joe.
you. And I saw Grant in the chat. Good to see you, Grant, Mr. S. And Semper 5, 1918. Don't know who that is. Someone new.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
obviously a Marine, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't born in 1918.
no,
So,
no. Well, he was probably carrying a 1918 Colt. Yeah.
oh well, yeah, I guess.
Hmm.
No, thought it was 19. You're thinking of 1911.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking of World War One.
Well, 1911, the Colt
Yeah.
45 came out. That was a that
Mhm.
that's it's a even the ones you buy now, I still say model. If you buy one, it's model 1911. So,
Okay. Stand corrected then.
no, you
Uh,
just forgot. I wasn't correcting you. You probably knew. It's just that you're trying to figure out what 1918 stood for, and
uh,
I almost went with you on that. And no, wait a minute, that's 1911. So,
so we got trouble brewing in Cuba. So it's looking like their government is teetering on collapse,
oh, is it
and
okay?
because they were getting their fuel oil from Venezuela.
Venezuela, yeah.
And right now we put sanctions on Cuba, and boy, they're really hurting, and the people there are starving. And here's my problem with, okay, say the communists fall. I just don't want it to end up like the previous regime where you have a corrupt dictatorship like Batista, where you have a bunch of warlords that control the island. You know, that's
Yeah, yeah,
I would hope we could get a set up a well, not set, let them set up a democracy.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
all, make it a republic rather than just a straight democracy.
Democracy. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because boy, you do that. I mean, look at what happened to Greece. Way back in the day when they
yeah,
did pure democracy, and
yeah,
their
yeah,
civilization just went.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
It didn't help Rome either
yeah, that's true. And then
because they
yep,
were straight. Yeah, they were a democracy, and theirs all went to
yep,
hell in a handbasket. Well,
and,
it was considered they called it a democracy. It was still a dictatorship because you had the Caesars, you know.
yes, the Caesars. Well, and
Yeah.
then after that, then you had the
Holy Roman Emperor.
came up where you had uh, authoritarian monarchs
Yeah,
where
yeah, yeah.
they collected taxes. The taxes were used for the army and to build castles, and,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
I think they also did some public works projects with that. Uh, but it took several centuries before uh, ideas of liberalism, small L
right,
liberalism, uh, took hold, and that's what this country became. It was based on
right.
liberty and
Yeah,
personal
liberty. Yeah,
liberty, and yeah, and rights granted by God, not by government. Yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We just send in the Polk County Sheriff and let him run the country for a while.
There you
There
go.
you
Yeah,
go.
yeah. Let him take care of it because, yeah, that guy. He's a character. I like watching him. But
Mhm.
but
Well,
yeah.
I think he's
Speaking of
got his act. I think he's got his act together. Every time he does a press conference, I mean, he's just right on the money.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Uh
Oh, that's right, Michael. 1918 BAR. Yeah.
yeah. I just
Uh,
saw what Grant put up there. Maybe Trump should buy Cuba instead of Greenland. Then you all get cheap rum and cigars. Yeah, there you
yeah,
go.
there you go.
Yeah, and
I'm
plus the
sorry.
climate's better. I
Yeah.
mean,
Well,
uh,
their quality of their cigars, what I've heard, has really gone downhill.
yeah, probably because of yeah.
Mhm.
Uh, I'm sure that they're not growing the kind of tobaccos that they were. You don't have any the old cigar makers that made good Cuban cigars way back when were able to have escaped and gone to places like Honduras
Right.
and because that's where a lot of
Yeah.
Guatemala, a lot of cigars come out of Honduras now, and
Yeah,
they're
that's
Cuban
true.
cigars, but they're basically they're not true Cubans, just like sparkling wine out of California is not true champagne. Even
Yeah.
if they use champagne, uh, actual champagne grapes to make it,
Right.
grapes that were imported from the Champagne area of France,
Right. Hmm.
so they still call it sparkling wine. So yeah, I think the Honduran cigars are like that. They're Cuban styled.
Right. Okay. And what else is going on? There's still arrests going on in Minneapolis, and now they're going after the people that are organizing the protests, which is good.
We've been having. I don't think it's happened here in Muskogee yet, but in Tulsa they've been having walkouts in the schools.
Yes, they had that here in Denver and other places around Colorado. Like
And
I said last week, we had Aurora Public Schools and Adams County schools closed because teachers called in sick. Some student athletes over in Grand Junction were suspended for walking out of school. Yeah. And it's been going even in Portland, the elementary school, they're getting the kids out there with signs.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
like,
it started out with two high schools, and then because Tulsa's got it actually has two school districts. It has the Union School District and the Tulsa Public Schools, and Union High School. I think they were the latest one to walk out, but there's like four high schools or five high schools up in the Tulsa area that have walked out, and one in Broken Arrow, and because they're protesting ICE. Well, we haven't been having those kind of issues here. I mean, we've got ICE here. They're picking up people that need to be picked up, but it's not like it is back in Minneapolis. And even with that said and done, there's been no killings. There's been no attacks on the ICE officers. None of this. They're just been walking out and protesting, which is their right to do.
Yeah,
What bothers me is I feel like the teachers and the teachers unions are the one who instigate this crap because they're the one filling their heads full of mush.
Right.
And to quote the great Rush Limbaugh, and it's just ridiculous, because we don't, as I've said in the past, like on Facebook, I belong to a group called What's Happening in Muskogee. I used to belong to the actual the city of Muskogee Facebook group, but it was full of nothing but spam and scams, and because they didn't have anybody monitoring it, so you guys had guys putting up crap that was just way beyond. Some of it was downright. I reported 3 or 4 of them because they were, downright. They were, putting porn sites up and shit like that. So, but anyways, this group that I belong to now, it's pretty well on top of things. You get the people that cause problems, but still, and almost everybody, when I say, somebody puts up ISIS in the area, and they've been here for 4 months, and usually the people say, and we support them, and you have probably 20 to every 20 supporting it to every one not supporting it,
Right.
And it's at least 20 to 1, and they say, no big deal. And the thing is most of them, or a good proportion of them, are Hispanics that are working in the area. They live here, and they said, we're U.S. citizens. We did it the hard way.
Yep.
They can go back and they can come back and do it the hard way too. So
right. That's right.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on. Also, we've got some municipal elections coming up soon, and there are some socialists running for mayor, especially in Los Angeles. And the Los Angeles candidate, she's talking about, let's turn those golf courses into public housing. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, and all the entertainment tax and all that stuff like they throw on hotels and stuff probably are on golf courses too, and they're going to lose all that revenue coming out of that golf course. So no more PGA tournaments there. So go ahead.
Yeah. And it's not just LA, but up in Seattle, there's a socialist running up there.
Oh yeah, nothing surprises me about Seattle.
So yeah, all the Mandami isn't the only one. So
Oh yeah. No, this is this is not. Yeah, it's they've been planning this for years,
mhm,
and I mean, even I think this was started back when some of this stuff was started to be implemented back under Khrushchev,
yeah,
you know, and this has been their plan all along to slowly but surely erode uh, our rights and our, erode our democracy here in the United States. I mean, all you got to do is look at what's going on in London, you know,
right,
and
yeah,
especially, and that's where we're headed if we don't stay on top of it.
right,
And I hate to say this, but maybe we should let the West Coast just go ahead and break off and they can be the communist states, the
right,
communist states of America, the
mhm,
new uh, CSA instead of the
right,
Confederate states. They can be the communist states, and just let them go over there and do their own thing.
mhm,
Because there's enough to support this country here in Middle America that
right,
we
mhm,
got oil. We got a lot
yeah,
more than they do in California. We got ways to make money here: oil and natural gas and coal.
oil, natural gas,
Yep.
uranium here in Colorado. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we got here too. You know.
So,
Uh,
unfortunately, Colorado's blue, so they're trying to strangle the oil and gas industry here in
yeah, yeah,
Colorado
yeah,
because they want to be on all renewables by what 2050. Yeah,
yeah, and we don't have the technology yet to do that. Uh,
right.
you
Hmm.
know, I mean the whole wind farm things have turned out to be the biggest boondoggle they've ever had.
Hmm.
And it's inefficient at best.
Hmm.
And
Don't.
those blades, I mean, it costs us a fortune to make one of those blades. And
Yeah,
when you start adding up the manufacturing, those manufacturers, they got to be run on something. They sure as hell ain't run on wind power or
right.
solar power.
So,
And
yeah,
the chemicals that they use to make that stuff, like the solar panels and stuff. None of that stuff right now is environmentally well off or working
right. You can't
or friendly.
dispose. And what do they do with those old blades? They bury them. Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
always good for the environment.
Well, hey,
Yeah,
in another 1,000 years of humanity, if it still survives, we'll dig those up and wonder what kind of damn birds. Oh, hey, Brian,
they,
what kind of damn birds them big wings came off of? What, man?
yeah,
They must have been flying some really big airplanes back then.
yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
but yeah, because that those damn things ain't going to break down. So
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah,
Yep. So yeah, yeah, socialism. I don't know. I think it's the Santa Claus effect. Where these mayors in these big cities, where the Democrats have run the cities into the ground. Now the socialism, yeah, we can come in, we'll fix it, and it'll just be even worse.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And they keep using the same excuse. Well, they didn't do it the right way.
right. Yeah, that's right.
The Soviet Union ran for a lot of years before it fell, and at one point it was pretty powerful.
Yeah,
It was.
yes, it
I mean,
did.
they were the second, and communist China is still pretty damn powerful, although they're having their struggles now. But they've
Right.
had to turn when they got Hong Kong. They realized, hey, there's the way to make money. The way they're doing it in Hong Kong. So when they got Hong Kong, they used that as a business plan, and
Mhm.
that's why they've been monetarily so far ahead of us,
Mhm.
uh, in or take.
And they've kind of gone away from communism to kind of a controlled economy.
Yeah, they've got they're
They
they're
still have rich
they're a
people.
capitalistic communist
Yes,
or
that's right.
communistic capitalism, one of the however you want to say it, But yeah,
where the Soviet Union, that was more, traditional communism, where the state owns everything and produces
Yeah,
everything,
yeah.
and
Well,
where
yeah, and there's
they figured, well, it didn't work for the Russians. Hey, if we want to hold on to power, we better change it a little bit.
yeah,
We'll just allow, businesses to grow, but we will control those businesses. I
yeah,
mean, we'll control the owners because the owners will be part of the government
yes,
because
yeah,
they're party members, and well, a few of them got, they cheated a little bit, and here's what's different about China. Instead of executing people, what they do is they send them to re-education camps. I mean, look
yeah,
at the current leader. That's
yeah.
what happened to him. He went through re-education.
Yeah, well, did you see what Cool Cat put up there? He says socialism just hasn't been done right, Art. You'll
Hmm.
own nothing and be happy. And then later on he goes, and if you're not happy, you'll be sent to re-education camp. Now he put that up there before you ever mentioned that. So yeah. So yeah, that's what'll happen, I mean, it's it goes back to 1984, George Orwell's 1984. Same thing,
Hmm.
Uh or a gulag, yeah, you're right, or a gulag, yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
And
Yeah,
so
and we have a famous writer that came out of there, Alexander Solzhenitsyn,
yeah,
wrote the Gulag Archipelago.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think I saw a movie that was based on his book, and boy, it was really depressing.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
those people just how they just
You know,
survived that.
personally, I think at the rate we're going, we're gonna be more like Planet of the Apes. I think the humans have already outlasted their usefulness,
Yeah,
and the monkeys will start taking over. Because I mean, we have some signs that they're already in charge.
yeah, yeah. Pretty soon they'll be flinging their poop at everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So let me see what else. Socialist mayors, so the global chaos. What?
You know what I've been finding ironic in the news is, uh, they're still trying to, the thing going on in Iran, it's sort of been put on the back burner right now. They're working on Cuba and what to do about it. And the
Right.
thing with Greenland has been quietly settled, however that's going to work out.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of this stuff has been pushed out of the news because of this kidnapping of this 84-year-old woman,
Right.
and the Epstein files.
Epstein files.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Epstein
And
files. Oh, and don't forget, we captured another oil tanker out in the Indian Ocean that
yeah, yeah.
tried to evade our.
I think we captured two here just
Yeah.
the other day. So we've
Oh,
captured yeah, we captured two in the
ah,
Indian Ocean. Yeah. So
wow. Good.
yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, is that oil that's coming from
Hey, Uncle
Iran
Bill.
or from Russia?
It was oil that was coming from Venezuela and had gotten
Oh,
out, and it was headed towards Russia,
okay.
or headed
Mm,
towards China or one of those countries. Uh,
mm-hmm.
but yeah, it
Right.
was Venezuelan oil is what it was,
Okay.
and it had gotten through the blockade somehow. It slipped through, and they caught them. They caught two of them because they
Mm.
violated sanctions. So, but
Well, Cool Cat made a good point.
yeah,
Communism is, maybe Islam killed. But they may have killed more if in the long run, because they've been, killing
Yeah, they've been at it for
centuries.
yeah.
Cen-
So I started what six
Six,
40 something,
yeah.
660, something like that. So you're
Hmm.
talking, four yeah, 600 to 1,000, yeah, 400, 1,400, 1,500 years,
Wow.
1,600 years they've been in existence. You know,
Yep.
I heard something the other day. It kind of surprised me, and I'll be honest, I didn't look it up. I just listened to it and thought, well, that's interesting, and went on. But in the days of early Christianity, we're talking from the time of the crucifixion up until the 600s. They didn't the under the Council of Nicaea is when they finally put the Bible in and made what was canon and what wasn't. Uh, of the
Mm.
books of the Bible, but it was being spread by word of mouth, and apparently, Muhammad's first wife was a Christian,
Mm.
and she was trying to get him to convert, but apparently, and this happened quite a bit, there were people there that weren't as good at explaining Christianity, and that's why he came up. That's why he came up with his own version of it. Because there are certain things that he recognizes of Christianity that Muhammad did, and but yeah, according to this I heard this on. Oh, it was on Fox Radio or Fox News,
Mhm.
and it's like, okay, well that's interesting, but yeah, but he was tolerant of Christianity back then, because
Mhm.
now these other groups that were that were non-Christian and that were what they considered infidels, because he respected he respected Christ, and when I was in a chat with a couple of guys that were the Muslims, and they were considering converting to Catholicism, and it was a forum I belonged to at one time, and they every time they mentioned Mary or Jesus, they used that same title, the Most Holy, or whatever title they give to Muhammad. They used it also towards Mary and towards Christ. You know, just
Mhm.
just in conversation, because they're not when they say Muhammad's name is supposed to be the Most Holy or some uh,
Yeah.
the Most Holy Muhammad or something like that. I don't remember what it is, because it's been that was that was 1999, so I've slept since then. Yeah. A
Mhm.
few of my brain cells have died off since then too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah. So, yeah. So I'm going to do something a little different here. This is, oh, Cool Cat says, Muhammad borrowed a couple of theological words. Some sections of the Quran are
The
almost word for
Talmud
word.
or Christianity. Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. He borrowed from both Judaism and uh, Christianity. So yeah.
Right. Hmm. So, what got his movement off the rails to where it just got to be? Was that?
Well, he had he had some of his ideas were he if there was one instance in which well, I'll just skip that part. Basically, it went off the rails after he died, and
Uh,
that's when he had some said his brother-in-law should have been the leader, and some
right.
said it was his sons would be the leaders. So there were at one time there were five branches. There was the one that claimed through the brother-in-law, because that's who he apparently appointed as his heir to the religion, you know, or to Islam. And so he was the high mullah, or whatever they call her, highest, over in Iran it's Ayatollah, but he's not the Ayatollah for all of the is
Right.
all of Islam. But And so he's one of the branches, like what are the ones we have now over there? We have the Sunnis and the Shiites.
Right.
Well,
Mm.
there were a total of five altogether, and they've killed off the rest or they've merged with them. And I can't remember if it's the Shiites that follow the teachings of Muhammad's brother-in-law, and then the others, his son, or his son.
Oh,
So, yeah, so that's where that's where it got off the rails was when he died. He didn't leave a very, he didn't leave a distinct
clear.
leader. Yeah,
Yeah, a
heir.
clear direction for his
Yeah,
movement.
for his movement. Yeah, yeah,
And then back, I think in the 12th century, they used to be pretty advanced technologically.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then they just kind of stopped where one sect said, no, it's God's will. God willed this. And
yeah.
those people started killing off the teachers and the scientists and stuff because they believed it was God's will.
Yeah.
That
Well, yeah, and there was part of there's an instance in which it's a story that's credited towards Muhammad, in which they had a city that was under siege,
mhm,
and it got to the point where they were winning the war of attrition with them. They were starving them out, and finally the leader of this city, that it was a walled city, and you know it was barricaded, and he put up the flag and said, we'd like to meet, and so they met, and he says, we will pay you the tax, the homage, the gold, whatever it is that they were asking for, we'll pay you that if you'll allow us to just remain who we are. He says, absolutely. Well, the next morning, he said, well, then we'll open the gates the next morning. The next morning, they open the gates. Mohammed's soldiers ride in there and kill everybody, kill
mhm,
all the leaders. And one of his own people asked, but you made a promise, you lied to him, and says, our word with infidels is unimportant because they're infidels. Now, we have to keep our word to another Muslim, but we don't have to with the infidels. Now, that's
right.
a story. I don't know if it's true. I've heard it. I've seen it written several times, uh,
Mhm.
and that's where they get this idea that yeah, they'll make peace with somebody, but if they're not Muslims, so
Yeah,
what?
they'll
They don't have to
just
keep
wait
the
until
words.
they rearm and then start back up.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep, just like
yeah,
what the Palestinians have been doing for
exactly. For
years. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Huh.
And I'm not going to say that that's a true story because, and I don't remember all the particulars. Again, it's been a while since I heard it, but I've heard it several times from different sources. So, it sounds plausible, but I'm not going to say that it's truthful. I think maybe later on down the road, some of the leaders of the Muslim, uh, religion, of Islam, started started doing that.
Mm.
And maybe they're the ones who told the story. Well, that's what Muhammad did, and that may not be true. A lot of things attributed to Muhammad could just be the bastardization uh,
Mhm.
of the religion, because that's what's happened to it compared to, uh,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
compared to
Well,
what it was.
we have a birthday coming up tomorrow in the drone community, and I made a video for this person, and I'm doing something a little different. This is AI instead of just straight ventriloquism, but this is from Hazel.
Hey Hazel, whose birthday is it today?
Lee Bessing!
Lee Bessing. Hey there, little buddy.
Hello, I'm ready for fun.
What should we do today?
Let's play.
Hey Hazel, let's sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
happy.
much. Yeah, that's your ventriloquism got really good there.
Yeah, I got really good.
When
Yeah,
did you get all the dental work done?
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
My
because
hands are straight too.
yeah, and
Yeah,
your hands were pretty good too.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and
Hmm.
yeah,
Lost weight.
he
Yeah, and I
did.
lost weight,
Yeah,
and I
he looked an awful lot
look.
like that guy, that goofy guy off of Blue Clues that wore that kind of shirt. Blues
Oh
Clues.
yeah,
Yeah.
Waldo. Where's Waldo?
No, no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. There was a TV series called Blues Clues
Hmm.
for
No.
kids. It was on. It was
Ah,
on.
oh.
It's for the toddlers, and
Uh.
that's where We've Got Mail comes from. That's where
Oh
that's
yeah, that
that's
was.
where that
Yeah.
saying comes from. And that guy wore a shirt sort of like the Waldo shirt,
Oh,
and your
okay.
face looks a lot like what he did, a little older version, but still looks younger than you do now. So
Well, I also have one where Hazel talks about last week's Starfleet Academy. It's welcome.
Hey, Hazel, did you see the latest Starfleet Academy? Whoa! Glitter vomit! Oh, Hazel. Hey, Hazel, what are your thoughts? I've seen better fan produced videos than Starfleet Academy. Hey, Hazel, what are your thoughts? Klingon in a skirt is just stupid. Stupid! That's ridiculous! Hey, Hazel, what are your thoughts?
Chancellor A can't sit like a normal adult. How moronic.
Really? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, at least you're having fun with it. So yeah,
I'll get better. Get the wording in the mouth. You
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Get that.
I've just started on trying that myself. So
What you showed us before the show looks really good. I like it.
yeah,
Mhm.
it turned out pretty good. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've got one where he says, "Welcome back to the show."
Mm,
You
good.
know, but yeah, so
Mhm. So
it's fun
Michael,
to
like,
play with. I'm not going to let it replace me though.
oh no, no, we can't replace the grumpy vlogger. No.
Yeah, yeah,
I know she changed your handle. It's now grumpy vlogger instead of the grumpy
yeah. I
vlogger.
dropped when I was able to finally change it. I dropped I dropped the word "the" because when people go to, I mean, originally it was Lloyd Mendenhall dash the grumpy
Yeah,
vlogger. Well, that's a pain in the ass if you had to type that out.
yeah, yeah,
So I dropped it to the grumpy vlogger and then just grumpy vlogger. So
yeah. I'm gonna eventually change mine to Artco D&E. Yeah,
okay,
drone
yeah,
anything. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Shorter. So anything else political happened? I know there was a big to do about that meme where the liberals just spun it out of control, and Lloyd talked me down because
Yeah,
I
yeah, because you reached out to me on that, and and it's like, no, I think you've fallen for the bait, and that's what it was all about, And I never
well
take it. I never
well
take anything.
when I
Go ahead.
first saw it, I was like, this sounds kind of fishy, and at first I thought, and then everybody, even people on our side, were
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
appalled, like
Some of
that
them,
Scott, the
yeah,
black senator.
right, yeah, Senator Scott, and he said, I hope this is just a mistake, and of course,
Right.
he gave him the bit. I like I'm saddened if but I hope this was just something, a mistake or a misunderstanding. And it turned out that's exactly what it was. I have an
Right.
idea that whoever did this will be fired or has been fired.
Oh, they have been let go, and it was just they didn't play the full.
Well,
Uh,
it doesn't matter. That clip was offensive no matter how much of it you saw. It
right.
would have been offensive anyways. The point was, and this is where I felt, and I don't know who else has touched on this, but we're still dealing with a lot of operatives for the deep state,
Right. Hmm.
and I think he's still got people on his staff that are part of that. They're doing little things like that add up, and the uninformed and those whose minds are made of mush are going to believe that crap.
Right. Hmm.
Well, it came from one of his own staff members. Well, no, it came from somebody that was an operative.
Right. Yeah, that's right, Brian. They did detain somebody involved in Nancy Guthrie's kidnapping,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they let that person go. The last thing we'll talk about is the SAFE Act, which is require ID for
yes,
voting,
yes.
and which Chuck Schumer calls it Jim
Jim
Crow 2.0.
Yeah,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
yeah. Considering it was his party that started the Jim Crow laws,
That's
uh,
right.
yeah,
And yep, Chinese operatives. Yep. Hmm.
yeah, probably as much as they are in the UK. Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, all of the polls are telling people, and I've seen more interviews with black people asking, well, do you know where the Department of Motor Vehicle? Yeah, it's on the 120 Fremont Street. Okay. Do you have an ID? Well, yeah. Here's the thing, they gotta have an ID to sign up for these benefits.
Yeah, that's right. And
Mm,
you need an ID just to go sit in the audience of the View. Did you know that?
I'll bet
How
you do.
about
Yeah, yeah.
yeah?
And you need an ID when you go into the Social Security office or welfare or whatever, to
By
these diff
Sudafed. Yep.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. There's so many things. Just to pick up your prescription,
Right.
they have to have an ID on record. Now,
Yeah.
mine, when it expires, they usually say, "Hey, you realize it expired?" No, I didn't. Because after the first of the year, they usually go back and say, "Okay, we need to see if you got an updated ID." And that's what they do. And you can't get on a plane without it. And I noticed there's just as many Hispanics and blacks and
Hmm.
Arabs and Indians into me. And that's another thing he said, that women who get married and change their names can't vote. Yeah, they can. They just take their marriage license and their ID down to the voter or or
Down
even
the
not.
DMV and change
Yeah,
their.
change it. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
And every state has free IDs for people. I mean, they're not saying you have to have a driver's license, but you have to have an ID. And
Yeah.
mhm.
all of the people around here, uh, hell, even our panhandlers have to wear an ID showing that they're authorized by the city or the state. They pay, they're authorized to be asking for stuff. Panhandlers.
Yep.
They got
Mhm.
to wear their orange vest and they have to have an ID, or they get run off. Or they get arrested for panhandling without a permit.
Orange vest so they could go hunting after.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That way they can go. Well, I think the ones they wear are like the ones street workers wear. They have the big
Oh, the
reflective
green
stripes on.
reflected
Well,
reflect.
ours are orange. We don't have green, but ours are orange with reflective stripes. And it's a
Mm,
safety thing because in the daylight you can see them. Reflective stripes, stand out at nighttime. So, but
mhm.
yeah, I mean, it's the silliest thing. I heard something today that popped up on my phone, and I went looking for it. I haven't seen it yet, but somebody posted that that the Republicans had eliminated the uh,
Filibuster.
filibuster. Yeah.
Oh, they have.
Well, I
That's
don't know.
news.
I haven't been able to verify it, but it was one of the first things that popped up on my phone this morning. And I didn't look to see who it was. I just started looking through Fox News, and I saw nothing about it. And I checked it before the show, and I didn't see anything about it. Mainly, they're dealing with the the Clintons that are going to be, if they haven't testified already, will be testifying on the
Right.
and talking about the files.
Epstein
There's a lot
file.
of people. Yeah, there's a lot of people in those Epstein files because those, they're like Dan Bonagino. He's on there.
Yeah.
Or no, not Dan Bonagino, but the bald guy that that has a podcast.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, I know. He's the one that Joe Rogan.
Rogan. Okay.
Yeah, because some aide was somebody was trying to get Joe Rogan to interview Epstein, and he says no. He says, "Are you high? What's wrong with you? Are you stoned? Hell no. I don't want
Mhm.
anything to do with that." But because his name was mentioned with Epstein, it got put in a file. So a lot of this stuff is coming out. People's name might be in those files, but those were people who've been verified to had nothing to do with it, and they might have known somebody who knew Epstein.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
Hmm.
but so hell, for all we know, we may be on there. Because we
Yeah.
mentioned him on this show, and now in the FBI files,
Mhm.
look at them people over there at the Conservative Gimps. They've talked about Epstein. And
Yeah.
that's all they got to do is write down, yeah, they talked about Epstein, and then boom, we're on their file.
There you go. And how about who was that? Lee Zeldin. What's her name? That black idiot from Texas. She said, he's on Epstein's list, and it was a totally
Jasmine Crockett.
Yeah,
yeah,
Crockett. Yeah.
yeah,
No relation to Davy, that I think.
yeah. Well, she is a Crockett full of shit.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's been the big thing, and that's gone, and to me, that's pushed a lot of the, the news cycle only lasts a week, and then they've got
Yeah.
something new.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was just here a while back. We was raising hell about Greenland. Why are we wanting to buy Greenland? Let's not mess with that. Leave it alone. And of course, strategically, man, I'm having problems saying words tonight. Anyway, strategically, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
I mean, because people think, well, Russia could just come across the Bering Strait. Yeah, they could, but it's and
It's
I never thought anything about flight paths until I started flying. And one of the things, like if I were to go to Australia,
Mhm.
I would, I'd go over to like Los Angeles or Seattle, but we'd go north around the curve because it's a shorter distance at the top of the globe than it is in the middle of the globe.
Right. Mhm.
So you fly up there and then you come down the coast and then drop straight over to it,
Mhm.
and because of that you don't fly straight across. Like if we were to fly from here straight across to Asia, right there on the coast, or Japan, fly from California to Japan. Well, if we flew straight across, man, that is a long way to travel.
Yes, it is.
But if you fly north and go across that way and drop back down, it's a lot shorter.
Yep.
That's the one case where the shortest distance between 2 points is not a straight line.
Right. And when I went back to Asia from LA, we flew all the way up by the Aleutian Islands, and then we kind of dipped south, and we went right by Japan. And
Yep.
That's how
that's why a lot of guys that in Southeast Asia, when guys were being flown into Vietnam, they went that route, and a lot of them, they got, they had a stop off in Japan, and that's where they'd buy a lot of electronics. And I mean, there was all sorts of electronic systems that were out there.
Yeah,
that the vets brought in. Yeah. I knew a lot of guys that had been over there that were over there that had had flown, they stopped in Japan,
Yep. Hey, did you get that reel to reel recorder? Oh, I sure did. Did you
Yeah,
get
yeah,
Sansui amplifier? Oh, yeah, I sure did.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah,
amplifier.
we had a guy in our barracks that had a big reel to reel. He had 4-foot speakers. You know, I mean, they were 4 foot
Wow.
tall, and
Wow.
he had another set on top. He had 4 speakers all the way, you know, but two big ones, and then another, you know, foot tall one. And
Mhm.
guys would start playing their heavy rock and roll too loud, and he'd tell them twice to shut it down. And then when they didn't do that, he had a reel to reel, and he had it on a loop that it played Amazing Grace on the bagpipes, and he had the loudest
Oh,
speakers in the
boy.
building. He cranked that damn thing up,
Mhm.
and it didn't take long. Amazing Grace on the bagpipes, a couple of
Oh,
times around, especially when it start. And he was up on the top floor, but you could hear it down on the first floor when he'd fire that thing up, and everybody starts shutting their systems down because he'd let the damn thing run all night if they, you know, if that's what they were going to do. He'd just roll over and go to sleep because he was used to it. But yeah, hearing the bagpipes in the middle of the night is definitely different. Well, that's why I use the bagpipes on my phone, because I can hear that tone better. You know,
Right.
that's my ringtone because I can hear it better than a lot of others.
Right. Right.
But anyways, but yeah,
So we covered that and that. No, anything else? Have we forgot about that? We talked about the kidnapping.
right.
We talked about socialists running for mayors.
Yep. Yep.
We talked about Cuba. We talked about oil tankers being stopped in the Indian Ocean. We talked about what's going on in Iran and how that's kind of put on hold. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Cool cat. Greenland. There is a distortion in size when you take a three-dimensional image and flatten it
Right.
out.
Mhm.
And the earlier map makers, the countries that were the most powerful, let's put it that way, they always made their islands to be or their countries to look a little bigger than the others, so it would look, you know,
Mm.
because you
Yep.
look at Australia and it doesn't look nearly as big as you think it is, you know, as it is. And that's because they were an unimportant country at the time. You know,
Yeah.
they were a penal colony, you know,
Yep.
and
Mhm.
that's why it's hard for us to realize that how big Australia is. And the same goes with Greenland, you know.
Mhm. And you go interior, it is a desert,
Oh,
and
yeah.
there's
Yeah.
not there are no cities once
Right.
you
Well, no, it's uninhabitable, most of it.
yeah. So
Although, you know, the first citizens, I think is what they like to be called now.
uh-huh.
They uh, they live there, you know, but
Uh-huh.
they've been there since the Cro they've been there since the days of the Cro-Magnon man, you know, because
Yep. Mhm.
and they actually are one of their DNA is one of the oldest DNAs in the world,
Right.
and for whatever reason, up until Captain Cook found them, they hadn't really progressed much since.
No, they were very backward
Yeah,
and
well, they were still almost like the cave dwellers of in our part of the world, you know,
right.
and or in Europe. So
Mhm.
yeah, and they're, as I said, they're one of the oldest DNAs because their DNA goes back all the way to the
Yeah, they came
Neanderthals or the Cro-Magnon. I can't remember which.
yeah. They came through India, and then they went through Indonesia and I'm going to say it, Philippines. They came through there, and then they went to Australia.
Well, I know the
They were Austronesians. Yeah.
yeah, well, the ones from
God bless you.
the ones from uh New Zealand, yeah, they
Yeah.
have that Asian, but those those were well they're the Pacific
Oh yeah, the
islands,
Pacific
and
Island.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what they call that now. But
Oceania.
well, yeah, the Oceanic, like the Hawaiians and the Polynesians,
Polynesians.
Polynesians, yeah.
Yep.
So but that's where they stopped. They didn't go any further south down to Australia. I don't think they have because Australia was really not migrated into. I think it's one of those where they broke off and they just, because they are very, very dark, which would be
Yes.
coming
Yeah.
out of Africa rather than Asia. So,
Well, well, some of the early inhabitants of the Philippines were very dark.
yeah. There's still some
Really
that like
hairy.
that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. There's still a lot of them like that.
I've seen some of those, and they were
Yeah,
usually living up in the hills.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
guys, we've done over 2 hours.
No, we
It was
haven't.
a fun
Over an
show.
hour.
Carried did a lot of topics tonight,
We
which
did.
is
We covered
good.
quite a bit.
Yep. So don't forget my show tomorrow night. Don't forget that show, Art Go Drones and Entertainment. And we got Bill's show on Saturday. Don't forget that show. And Lloyd's show on Monday.
Yep.
So take care, everybody. Have a great evening. Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Good
folks.
night, all.
Let's see. How do I do the outro? Do I have to hit end stream?
Yeah, click in stream and it